are happy to be back here in the new year. Hi, Philip.
Hello, Tertia, and how are you keeping?
This glow is from slightly sweatiness, not healthiness. So it's warm up in Gauteng. We know you guys have been struggling with all these wildfires. We're glad you're safe and here to talk with us today.
Yes, we've had them, and now it's phase two, and we are in drought. So I think until winter comes, it's going to be a little bit awkward. But we stay positive and we keep going.
Fantastic. So, talking about having big emotions about what's going on in the world and what's going on around you, I think we all know the world is in a bit of a sketchy place at the moment. Today, we are talking about how our affections, how our emotions affect our dogs, correct?
Yes, if the world is in a state, then you must know what the poor dog's state are and what state they are in. So, yeah, how our emotions affect our dogs in many, many ways, and we don't actually realize it. And we can learn a lot from our dogs through the process. When we are calm and relaxed and kicking back on the couch, we're going to find our dog is also relaxed, also hanging out and not concerned. If we start getting nervous and concerned, we're going to pick up the difference in our dogs because they are going to be doing the same. If we go into a panic state, the dogs are also going to panic. So whatever we're up to really affects our dogs, and we don't always realize it. If dogs get involved in a scuffle, and we start screaming and shouting and become part of it, the dog sees us as part of the attack, and it will encourage the dog to continue, won't pull the dog off. So, focusing on training in this respect, we must always remember that what we are whilst we are training is what our dog is going to be. And we must watch our emotions. We must look at our nervousness. We must look at everything that we are. And this is why I like to start with training sessions on one-on-ones at home and prepare both the handler or owner and the dog before entry into a group setup. Because the first day the handler gets there or the owner with his dog, the dog might not be equipped, but if the handler is not equipped, it's just going to become chaos. And on many occasions, we've heard of training centers telling people to please leave and never come back because their dog's out of control, which is tragic because the training centers should be dealing with those issues first.
Yes.
Before trying to do training with that person. So going back a bit, when COVID came along and everybody was confined to home, I actually got a lot of calls because suddenly dogs that were okay at home and relaxed and all the rest of it were starting to develop issues. And people wanted to know why. So here I am in this hurried world of mine where I'm up early in the morning and off I go. I've got to rush with the kids. I've got to rush and I've got to do this and that. And bang, I'm gone. And my dog's at home. The dog gets used to me not being there. I'm used to being out and on the move. And suddenly I'm confined. And in that confinement, I become restless. I become frustrated. I can't go to gym, go and play squash, whatever the case may be. So I start getting frustrated. I start building a temper, and the dog picks up on these things. So when my temper goes, I start instilling fear into the dog. Because the dog picks up on that. I don't have to shout and scream at the dog or anything. It's just my emotions, and the dog just picks up on it. So when COVID passed, now we had the issues coming from the dog side
Mm.
because all these emotions have disappeared. We've got some places where the bond's too tight, separation anxiety kicked in, and all these things. So I've even said to you on many occasions, Tisha, go back, go back, go back. And the first thing you do is look at yourself when you're busy training.
So this is where Philip taught me that your dog actually, in essence, becomes your mini psychologist, whether you like it or not, because if you are not okay, your dog will pick up on that and they will show you that you are not okay. Even if you're walking around thinking, I'm doing great as a person, something's bothering you in the back of your mind and you take that little wobble, you become a little bit unstable, your dog's going to know it if you work with your dog.
I must tell you a little story. There was a burbu that I became very, very close to. I spent a lot of time with this dog, and at times the owners would have to go away for maybe a week or 2 weeks. And because I was the only one who could get to this dog or deal with the dog or work with it, I was always requested to go and stay there at their house. And during that period, I decided to do a little test because I would go down and have breakfast in the morning and the dog would lie down next to me. And in here, I knew we were going walking. And I would tell the dog, I'd say, sorry, no walk today, we're going nowhere. I've got to go and work. And the minute I get up from that chair, the dog's at the front door, sitting, waiting for the leash. It knew. And then on the other side, I would go down and I know we're not going walking. It's not on the program for the day. And I would tell the dog, hey, come on, we're going walkies. Let's go, get the leash. It would just lie there. When I get up and go, it would just stay there.
So how do they know? How?
Do you think you can hide something from your dog? I've got news for you. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so I specifically tested that. And no matter how hard I tried, how I changed my emotions, my mindset, that dog just knew. Something gave it away somewhere. So you've got to be very careful because you can't lie to your dog. You can lie to other human beings, but you can't lie to your dog.
You can lie to
And,
yourself even,
no, you
but you
can't
can't
lie
lie
to
to your
your dog.
dog.
Their dog is gonna catch on very, very quickly. And yeah, so they're very sensitive to your emotions and what's going on. Because I mean, me saying we're not going walking, but inside, yeah, no, we're going. So maybe my body's giving off smells. Something's happening.
Mm.
And this dog's just picking up on my emotions the whole time. Okay. And they'll look at you. And you think, oh, what a cute little dog. Meantime, this dog is taking you to school. He's, he's teaching you a couple of things that you didn't know were possible. So I think when I say to you, Tisha, go back, go back, go back, you know, if we go into the street and we're not comfortable there, our dog's not going to be comfortable. If we
Yeah.
go to a training center and there's 10 other dogs there and there's a lot happening, you as the owner, you're not going to be comfortable. And your dog's going to pick up on that. So why should your dog be comfortable? He's not going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why in going back, we've got to go back and start the baby steps and slowly move forward step by step, not rush it, not push the dog. And I've been adamant about this throughout my career. You work at the dog space, not at yours, because you can't push a dog into something and then you think it's the dog, meantime it's you.
Yes.
And you've got to be very, very careful with it, especially when you're working with the stronger breeds, the bigger breeds, because obviously they kick into protective mode, um, space guarding mode, and then things can get out of hand, especially if you're a nervous, oversensitive person in a certain situation. You have to be very careful. So always make sure of yourself. I have an incredible story about a woman who went to a training center with her dog. Obviously, for privacy reasons, I won't name the center or the lady's name. And on day 2, they asked her to please leave because her dog just wouldn't stop barking. In doing that, I don't think they realized what damage they did to this lady. Psychologically, mentally, self-confidence wise. And she came to me and she said, "Hey, Philip, this dog must be trained. Can't you take this dog and train it?" And I said, "No, because afterwards you are going to be sitting with whatever the problems are. And if you can't fix them, I don't live with you 24/7, and you've got to be able to recognize and fix them." So we arranged a meeting at a rugby field, I'll never forget, where there was nobody, not a soul. And when she got out of the car, she said to me, "You must excuse me, but I have taken a couple of tablets to calm me down." And there, for the first time, I realized how badly she had been affected. And her dog, it was a crossbreed Alsatian, was just totally overboard, completely. So I put the dog into my van and I took her and a leash and I said, "Right, now this is where we start." Long story short, at the end of that, this lady attended 2 courses with me. It was a 5-day training course, a 2-day seminar after that. And I would take her today, even, I would take her anywhere in the world to do landmine detection, explosives detection. She became just one super person. It was a turnaround. But the big thing was her dog did a complete turnaround. And she almost became militaristic. I tell you what, she would march up and down with that dog, in and out, other dogs, no problems. And I took her to quite a high level. But I would take her anywhere in the world with me today to go and work. When I had excess dogs and not enough handlers in a group, I would phone her and she would come in and work with any dog. No problems. So why was her dog barking and performing when she attended the first school? You know, dog wasn't prepared. Dog didn't have the skills, but she never had the skills. And being the nervous person that she was, it could only have gone downhill a lot faster. But the destruction they caused is it's heartbreaking. It really is. You know, when you've got somebody like that and that type of thing is done, they don't realize the consequences of it. And this is why I'm always wary of schools who say, "Come, you get into the bundle, you're not shaping, they chase you away," because it just becomes a money issue. It's no more about the person or the dog. All right, so always, and these are always my words to you, Tisha, first look at yourself.
Absolutely. It is always his words.
Yeah, if you're wrong, the dog's going to be wrong. Simple as that.
So, to make this practical, this may sound terrible to some people because if you sit there thinking, well, I am a nervous person. I am a highly strung person, and I can see that effect in my dogs. My dogs are unruly. My dogs have separation anxiety. My dogs are having a bunch of behavioral issues. They're just pulling all kinds of tricks. And the more they do, the more unsure I get and the more unstable I become. Um, this whole discussion is very good news for people like that, because the fact that your dog picks up very strongly and effectively on your emotional state does not mean you're screwed. It does not mean there's no road forward. It means, one, you have an incredibly effective feedback system right there on your couch waiting. Your dog can tell
Mhm.
you when what you're feeling when. Okay. If you see certain behaviors in your dogs, go and look inward and find what causes that in yourself. The story Philip just told is a story of overcoming. Um, when the person is equipped with skills, they become more confident. When you are about to leave and your dog is tugging on your jean pants for you not to go, and you have zero skills to handle a situation like that, you are going to get flustered. You are going to get frustrated. You are going to feel emotionally drained by the time you leave the house because it was such a fight just to do a simple thing, leave your house. And now you're asking questions, what am I doing wrong? Um, the second you get the skills to handle a situation like that, you're not going to feel those things. You're not going to fall off the wagon as easily. You're going to be sure of what to do next. And that makes you more predictable and more stable in your dog's eyes. So it's not that you being an emotional person or emotionally unstable or nervous or highly strung is the end of the road for you. It means we simply need to equip you how to handle certain situations, and you and your dog are going to be better off for it.
Because you're going to develop skills for yourself, your own skills, and you're going to develop your dog's skills. So it's vitally important.
Mhm.
So if you're running into these problems, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with you being anxious and all the rest of it. But
No,
just
like we
remember,
said in the beginning, the world is a terrible place at the
yeah,
moment. You
yeah,
are probably not right, not wrong to be anxious.
yeah, no. So just know that you can overcome these things, and you can actually become such a wonderful owner and dog handler if you just develop these skills and take the time to do it.
That's the thing. It's always going to require any type of transformation requires commitment and effort. If you want physical transformation and you're going to the gym, then you're going to have to commit to showing up to the gym and commit to eating right when you're not in the gym. If you want the emotional transformation or the skill transformation where your relationship with you and your dog changes, it's going to take commitment and effort, but it can always be done.
Absolutely. I always say, don't try, do it.
That is another
If
piece of
I'm
very
gonna
valuable
try,
advice.
if I'm gonna try, I've already failed.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna do it. It's got to be a positive thing.
Absolutely. So
There
thank
you
you
go.
so much, Philip. This was very fun to talk about, especially to kick off the new year and to make sure all of us just get in the right mindset. Take this information, look, go and make a cup of coffee, look at your relationship with your dog and when your dog's behavior is affected by your current state, your moods or your emotions, and you might just learn a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Until
Thank
next
you.
time, thank you.
Thank you so much, Tertia. Have a wonderful time up there. Be safe, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you. And to everybody listening for the rest of 2026, please hit like and subscribe on our videos. We're going to keep
Yes.
bringing you content like this for dog handlers, for pet owners, and for everybody.
Thank you, Tertia, and goodbye to everybody.